turning 40 this year, and everything is just hitting me right now. Just like, not where I wanted to be. I haven't succeeded at anything. I haven't even tried. Like, I don't even know anymore. I don't know how to do anything. I don't know how to cope with anything. And I don't know how to, I did this whole growing thing wrong. Like I'm supposed to be an adult. I'm supposed to be able to handle these things, and I can't handle anything. And I literally am just realizing, like, it's been 40 years of this, and like 40 years of just being confused and not knowing and like figuring things out slower, and like not like I haven't built anything. I have nothing like to show for this time. I just don't know what I'm doing here, and I'm lost. I'm afraid, and I don't.
She should be afraid, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I know that the sentiment should be, or with a lot of people that are being politically correct are saying, "Oh, it's okay," and y'all sent me this video and it's going viral, and so I looked in the comments, and it was like, "Oh, it's okay, girl, we all with you." No, it's not okay. It's never okay. Number one, because we're gonna hit on a couple different points here. The first thing is that it's important for people to understand that the earlier you get started, and to use this as a cautionary tale, because the earlier that you get started to invest in yourself, to remove the debt, to make sure that you're making informed decisions, no self-inflicted wounds, so that you're not running into victim Olympics later on in your life, it's going to exponentially be greater on the other side. Because what happens is the seeds that you plant earlier in your life largely manifests itself to being whatever it is that you planted. So if you planted seeds of destruction, issues, problems, debt, all of that stuff, then you are going to suffer for it, or it's going to be much harder for you to climb out of it when you get older. If you sow seeds of success and you invest in yourself and you go into the right fields and you make sure that you don't take on no debt and you actually make sure that you're doing the right thing for the majority of your youth or for the younger years, then ultimately your pathway is going to become exponentially much more successful. And people don't take that into consideration. So now I'm starting to see the residual effects of people that voted a certain way, that advocated to be a certain way. And I can't necessarily speak to her situation because she didn't go into any details, but I'm starting to see more and more women in particular whine and complain and say that, oh my God, I didn't do anything. I don't know what I did for the first 40 years of my life. What am I going to do? Well, you're going to have to pay for that in your retirement. And that's why people are so concerned about things like Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare, because you're going to need it when you get older. That's the reality check. The other part of this conversation, though, is why are we so empathetic towards women, but we have no sympathy and empathy for men in particular? Because I thought we were all equal. I thought we were all on the same page. I thought that everybody could do what they wanted to do when they want to do it. Nobody cared. Nobody tripped about it. But that doesn't seem to be the sentiment. Maybe my heart and turned too cold for anybody outside of the bag chasers. If you're not a part of the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Maybe my heart has gone too cold. But what I see is if you are born here in the United States of America, you have the greatest opportunities on earth. And so what your results are basically a reflection of most of your own decisions. Sure, it rains on the just and the unjust. Sure, there are some other factors that may play a role, but once you get 40, it's different. And I'll also add this in there. For a lot of guys that make smart decisions and stuff, you may go through it earlier, but it's going to be greater on the other side. We grow into our greatness. We grow into success. And so for me in particular, and for a lot of my friends, this has been the best years of my life since I've turned 40. I'm 43. I am very much looking forward to all of my 40s, all of my 50s, all of my 60s. And as long as I do the right thing when it comes to fitness and good health and making sure that I'm eating correctly and taking care of my business, man, I am super excited for what my future is to behold. But I've seen a lot of women say you can do it on your own. You need to decenter men. Don't worry about getting married. YOLO, remember YOLO, you only live once, and so to just do whatever it is that you want to do. A lot of people have made a lot of bad decisions. They slutted it out. They they said that I would recover. Oh, we don't care, or whatever, so on and so forth. And now what I'm starting to see is a lot of women, and it's not even like race specific. I'm seeing a lot of women saying that they regret their decisions that they've made and they don't have it all together.
Just saw the video a woman posted basically crashing out because she was about to turn 40, and I am 40 today and having a lot of the same feelings. And I looked in the comments and I saw comment after comment after comment of millennials who also feel the same way. And I thought about this and I'm like, why is this happening? And then it occurred to me, of course it's happening. We grew up in a culture that valued what you do over who you are, how quickly you can get a degree and start a family and buy a house, but never asking, like, who are you going to become? And it's hard because if you're not one of those people who's a hustler, it feels like you just have to, go and just achieve all the time, it can really make you feel like you're not enough. But I've made it a practice, and I'm just feeling emotional because I feel like we need to talk about this. And a lot of people, like, this is what's inside of them. Like, check on your millennials, y'all, because this is what's inside a lot of us. But I've tried to make it a practice to ask when I meet somebody, instead of what do you do? What are you passionate about? What brings you joy? What makes your heart sing? It's such a, in my opinion,
Women are so, women are, honest to God, women are hilarious to me. They are hilarious to me. Man, no matter what and no matter how they feel, they always go back to their emotions. And it's what makes your heart sing? What are you passionate about? You fucking 40 years old. You 40. You probably at the halfway mark. If not, you about to get there when you get 45. It's time to get it. We don't want to keep taking care of y'all. Don't nobody want to, your kids having to be son husbands and stuff when you get older. Grow up. What are you talking about? And I'm not directing it at her. I'm directing it to the general public. Like, you're old. Get up. Let's get it.
more powerful way to start an initiation with someone, to start a conversation with someone, and to make someone feel valued beyond the work that they do. And I'm a creative, so I'm an actor. I'm creating on here. I have a TikTok shop I'll tag if you want to follow it. I'm trying to grow there. But like, if especially if you're doing things like that and you're not producing in the way that this culture, in a way that America tells us we need to produce, it can be really easy to feel like you failed. So I understand the way that this woman felt, but it's a lie. And I have to give it to Gen Z for like breaking a lot of these chains, because
Gen
they
Z
said,
is gonna be the
fuck
most
you, I'm not going to do
crazy, broke generation that I've ever seen in my entire life. They literally voting for socialism over in New York, and it's being led by Gen Z.
this like whole like work till I'm 60 to maybe retire, at 65 and maybe get a few years of like peace. And I love that there's so many people who have become, millionaires or making hundreds of thousands of dollars on this app, for example, because I don't feel like we have to be a slave to this idea that our parents and their parents said that we had to live by. A lot of these systems that were created by people who wanted to keep us working. So, I don't know.
While she cries.
Happy birthday to me. I hope that if anybody else is feeling this way, any other millennials especially, that it's just a good reminder to just check in with yourself, to tell your friends that like they're good people, to talk to people about what you like about who they are, and maybe not just define value by what someone does, but how they're showing up.
No, I'm a define value by the value that you add into society and how productive you are, and whether or not you actually, um, you know, I guess I go by men. My standard is based off of what men have largely used as a litmus test. We're loved based off of our productivity. We're loved based off of the value that we add into society, not how we feel about each other.
And what they're sharing with the world and what gifts they have to offer. That's really important too. So to the girl who posted this, happy.
All right. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. They still don't get it, bro. They still don't get it.